So let me tell you what my rules are for the next 75 days as I go through this challenge. Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Alicia from Country Mama Musings, and I have been on a health journey, and I've been inviting you along to join me. You may have been with me during the very early days of August of 2023 when I was struggling to try to find something to do that would become motivating for me and motivating for you, and so that we could get up off the couch together and maybe lose some weight and inches. I wanted to have cheerleaders and I wanted to cheerlead you, but I struggled. I couldn't find anything that really set. I was floundering. So for the month of September, I saw somebody was doing a walking challenge, and I thought that I can do. So I did a walking challenge for September. I walked every day for 30 days, but I didn't want to continue on with just a walking challenge for the month of October. So I looked around and I decided to do a 30-day HIIT challenge, high intensity interval training. I did my HIIT challenges and made sure that I made up the difference to make sure that I got 6,000 steps on my little watch here every day. All told, because I do have some totals from August. I did lose a little bit of weight there. In the beginning, it always seems to be you drop a couple pounds pretty easy. I've lost 16.8 pounds. And here we are in November. I decided before the end of October that I needed to think of something for November. What was it going to be? I started doing some research on YouTube and Facebook to try to find some inspiration, and I think I found it. I found something called the 75-day challenge, and I thought, this is interesting. It's longer than the 30 days. I'm already 60 days into a really regimented routine. I wouldn't recommend doing a 75-day challenge right out of the gate, but I've already set myself into a routine of logging things and keeping track and being motivated, and I thought this would be a really good routine for me. And then I watched a couple videos, and this is actually called the 75-day hard challenge, the one I was looking at first. And I gotta tell you, these were younger 20-somethings that were trying this challenge. It's not just a physical challenge, it's a mental challenge, it's an emotional challenge. And I watched them get partway through, and there were videos of them in the closet crying. It was too much, they couldn't handle it. I thought, this is not for me. But then I saw a video that said it was a 75-day soft challenge, and it is a modified version of the 75-day hard. And I watched a couple of videos and I thought, this is more attainable for me. This is something I can do, and it's perfect because it's going to get me through Thanksgiving, it's going to get me through Christmas, and it's going to get me through New Year's. And I'm not going to do it where it's that really hard one where there's so many strict limitations that it would feel punitive. I don't want it to feel like a punishment. I want it to feel like an attainable goal that I can be successful at. Let's put that out. So I watched a few videos about a 70-day soft. And then I sat down and I wrote my own goals for it. And let me give you the premise of the 75-day hard, and then we'll compare it to the 75-day soft. For the 75-day hard challenge, you have to commit yourself to 2 workouts every day, 45 minutes each, and they cannot be concurrent. You can't work an hour and a half. So you have to have a 45-minute routine, whatever it's going to be, yoga, HIIT training, boxing training, anything like that, an aerobics class, 45 minutes. Then you have to have 45 minutes where you commit to doing an exercise routine outside. You have to have an outside one every single day. Now here where I live, snow's gonna fly during November and December and January. So me getting outside to exercise every single day is not going to be a doable thing for me. Some days I might be able to. I have a goal to go snowshoeing this year, but I'm not gonna be able to do that every single day. So I realized that wasn't going to work for me right away. But you have to have the 2 routines. Second is you have to commit to an eating plan. It doesn't have to be a specific eating plan per the challenge. You come up with an eating plan that is best for you, a Whole30 diet, a low carb diet, if you want to count points on Weight Watchers, anything like that. But you have to get that diet down and not venture away from the diet. You have to stick to it. A lot of whole foods and veggies and things like that. You have to commit, and in addition to the dieting, no soda pop, no alcohol. You can have water. I don't know if you can have tea, but you'd have water, You can have fizzy water, what is it, the sparkling waters, but no soda pop, no alcohol. So which the alcohol part didn't bother me, but I do love me a 0 root beer on occasion. I used to drink real root beer when I was at my heaviest, 2, 3, 4 a day. That's a lot of calories. But since you're not drinking those other things, you have to commit to drinking water. And on the 75-day hard, you have to drink a full gallon of water every single day. And it's an attainable thing, but boy, that's a lot of water. But if you're out there actively working, you should be able to drink the gallon of water. But that's what it is for the hard. Also, for the hard, you have to find a self-help, a physical book, self-help, or a non-fictional book, and commit to reading 10 pages a day. So that one I know was going to be doable for me because I love to read. Then lastly, you have to commit to taking a selfie every single day and posting it to social media, whether that be your Instagram or Facebook, TikTok, or to an actual group that does 75-day challenge hard. So, that's okay because I usually post something on Facebook or Instagram every day anyway, so I knew I could commit to that. But when I watched these videos of these kids, these 20-somethings in the closet crying because they just couldn't do it after day 50, they were done, they were mentally done. I was really thankful to find the soft challenge. And the more I watched them, I realized it can be completely personalized for what best fits your needs. So this is what I came up for mine. I'm hoping by the end of this video that you will be inspired to maybe consider a 50-day challenge or a 75-day challenge. Make it soft, make it personalized to what your needs are. So let me tell you what my rules are for the next 75 days as I go through this challenge. Rule number 1. I have to commit myself to 45 minutes of exercise a day. Not 2, just 1. It could be here in my home workout studio. It can be at the wellness center. I can do a HIIT routine on TV as long as I commit to 45 minutes of good quality exercise. Now, just like before with the month of October, if I don't quite reach 6,000 steps, I'm going to make up that difference so I make sure I finish out the day with 6,000 steps. Now that's 6,000 steps total. I might get 4,000 steps done in my routine, and then throughout the day before I go to bed, I just have to make sure that this closes that little ring to make sure that I hit the 6,000 goal that I set for myself every single day. Diet. I was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes a while back. I did really good when I was first diagnosed, and then I fell off the diabetic wagon, went crazy with cakes and ice cream and cookies and cinnamon rolls and all the things I knew I shouldn't have. But I know what to do for a low carb. So I wanted to make it a little bit more challenging than just knowing I needed to do low carb, because I've been doing that for the last 3 months. The last 3 months I've really cut down on my carbs again, and I think it's starting to show. But I wanted to do something a little different because even though I'm low carb, I know I'm having issues with portion control because I should have lost a little bit more weight than this by now. So I made myself my own personalized weight loss little sheet of paper, and I just went to the library. I found a template that was free online and I personalized it, and it's my food log. And I log everything that goes in this mouth. I put down my coffee in the morning, anything I had for breakfast, a snack, lunch, dinner, everything goes down on that piece of paper. And then, if I can, I get the nutritional information for the protein, fat, carbs, and calories. Now, I'm not keeping track of what I'm required to have protein-wise every day or carb-wise every day. If I see a big, huge carb number, I know I blew it and don't eat this again. But it's not like I'm saying, oh gosh, I didn't hit my protein limit for this and I need to stress and find something else. It's just there. I can look back at it later, or I can go over it with my nutritionist if I need to. What I'm really focusing on this time are calories and portion control. Because I can tell you right now, I could say, hey, I can cook up a couple of eggs. I can cook up some of my fakey meat, throw some cheese on it, and use a low carb tortilla and make a little breakfast burrito, and I know that my carb count is within reason where it needs to be. I bring up that meal because I made one for breakfast the other day and I measured everything out. I had the 2 eggs. I got all of the nutritional information. I used 1 serving, not 2 servings, of my fakey steak tips, because before I was just pouring stuff in the pot, in the skillet. I measured it out, so I made sure I had 1 serving. I measured out the cheese that I put on top, and then I had my tortilla. It was 630 calories. On a 1,200 calorie a day diet, if that was going to be my goal was 1,200, that's half of my food right there in a little breakfast burrito. I still have lunch and dinner to go, and I'm already over 600 calories. Mind blown. That opened my eyes up right there that I really needed to pay attention to not only how much I'm putting on my plate, but really what I'm putting on my plate and making sure I measure things out and have portion control. I've done really well. When I put together that list, that log, that food log, I made sure that I put in the corner 1,200 to 1,600 calories a day. And I'm doing my best to not be too low, but not go over that 1,600 if I want to lose some weight, because I do have quite a bit of weight to lose yet. So I'm making sure that that's part of my rule number 2. Have a dedicated eating plan and journal my food every day. Takes a little extra effort, but I'm finding I'm a few days into it now, it's going pretty well. I think journaling everything for my exercise for the last 60 days has really put the mindset in for it to be a habit to just grab that notebook and do what I need to do when I put something in my mouth. It's been very, very easy. Rule number 3 is the water. Now, I'm not going to commit to drinking an entire gallon of water, but I do want to make sure I get at least 3 liters in a day. So I try to keep track. I have my Circle water container, and I fill that up and I drink it, and I just make little tick marks. And when I get 6, 8 of them in there, I know I'm doing really, really well. I'm finding the more that I've given up the soda pop, the Diet Zero root beer, I'm craving the water more. When we go out to eat, I have an important thing to tell you. For the exercise is 6 days a week with 1 day of active rest. That does not mean for that 1 day that I'm not exercising, that does not mean to put on my Snuggie and sit on the couch and watch TV all day long. It means that I don't have to do the routine. I don't have to get those 6,000 steps in, but do something. Go for a lovely walk around the park with my husband. Go do some window shopping, something, but not sitting on the couch. So I have that 1 day a week that I'm allowing myself to do that. For the food, I'm allowing myself 1 cheat day a week, but that does not mean that I go crazy. That means if my husband and I go out to eat, if we go out to dinner somewhere, we go into the big city and we want to go eat, I'm still going to make smart choices. But if I want to get a Diet 7-Up, I can. If I want to get a very small fry, I can. I can allow myself those little comforts and not beat myself up over it. My granddaughter had a birthday coming up and they were going to do some cupcakes. If I wanted to have a cupcake or I have a cupcake, I could and not feel completely guilty over it. The reason I say that is, the reason I put those cheat days in there or those buy days is because on the 75-day hard, if you mess up one thing, you have to start over. You could be 50 days into this and miss a workout, and you have to start over from day 1. And I think that's where a lot of these 20-somethings were just feeling defeated, because if they couldn't get their water in, if they forgot to post to social media, if they didn't get that second workout in because a hurricane was blowing through, it was punitive. It was a punishment. You had to start over, and I did not want that. So if you're going to put this together, that's up to you. If you want to make it that strict, I choose not to. So we've got the exercise, we have the food, drinking the water, and then let's talk about developing the mind. In addition to journaling and developing the mind that way, I kept the element of reading a book. Now, I know a lot of challenges are you could either do an electronic book or you can do a physical book. I really believe this part of the first the 75-day hard. There's something tangible. There's something that connects to the brain when you take that journal and that pen and you physically write down what you ate as opposed to typing it into your smartphone on an app. There is something tangible about writing down your exercise routine as opposed to just logging it on your Fitbit or your Apple Watch. There's something that connects to the brain that is so healthy when you actually go to the library or go to a bookstore, pick out a nonfiction or a self-help book. I kept that part. Some people read whatever they want. I really still wanted it to stick with a nonfiction or a self-help book. So I went into the library and I met with the librarian, and she showed me all of the new nonfiction works that came out. And she suggested a few, and they kind of, like maybe that might be okay. I might like this one or I might like that one. There was one book that caught my eye, and it's called, let me grab it. So this is the book that I'm reading for my challenge. It's called The Sewing Girl's Tale. Something about the cover caught my attention, and it is nonfiction. And I picked it up. I thought, that kind of looks interesting. I read the jacket on it, and if you've been following me for any amount of time, or if you're a personal friend, you know I am on a Hamilton kick. Ever since I saw Hamilton, I love Hamilton. It's all Hamilton. I've even named some of the stray cats around here the characters from Hamilton. I love the show Hamilton. So I picked up this book, The Sewing Girl's Tale, and this book is a true historical account of a trial that was held in 1793 in New York City. It involves the case of this sewing girl. She brought forth the first case of a male to female assault. I want to make sure I am careful how I word that. And it goes through the trial system at great cost to her, at great cost to her family. I don't know what those costs are yet, but Alexander Hamilton was one of the lawyers in the trial. I don't think he represented her though. I think he represented the rake that assaulted her. So I have yet to see what happens, but it's a historical read, and I have to commit to reading 10 pages a day. I will tell you I'm reading a chapter a day because I am finding it intriguing. It's usually more than 10 pages. I did keep the social media thing because I post every day anyways, so that's no big challenge for me. I did do one more thing for this challenge. When I was going through August with no set challenge, and then September with a set challenge, and then October with a set challenge, I was very in tune with the scale. I would get up every morning and weigh myself before I even had my coffee. And some days it was a high because it would show a loss. Some days it would stay the same and I get frustrated. And then some days, just because of what I ate the day before and the sodium content, it would be up a little bit, and then I'd be down on myself for the whole day. So one thing that I have challenged myself to do for this 75-day soft is I only weigh myself once a week. I'm not measuring myself. I'm not weighing myself. I'm not going to measure myself till the end of 75 days. I'm sure my clothes will fit differently, but I'm not taking active measurements until the end of 75 days. But I am weighing myself one time a week. I will put it in my journal, and I'm not going to allow the scale to dictate to me. I know that with the calorie control, with the portion control, drinking the water and not the sugary drinks, exercising every day, getting my steps in, I know that scale has to come down. But I'm not going to live by it daily. I'm only going to check once a week. So those are my rules for my personal 75-day soft. That will be for the month of November, the entire month of December, and the first 15-ish days of January. Like I said, it gets me through Thanksgiving, gets me through Christmas, gets me through New Year's. Now for those 3 holidays, because I have a cheat day per week, I'm not going to save up the 4 weeks in November and have an all blowout Thanksgiving, but I will have the one day of Thanksgiving week, and I could choose whatever day I want. And if it's going to be on Thanksgiving Day, then I know I can still enjoy Thanksgiving, but not go overboard. I may have a sliver of pumpkin pie, or I may have a very small scoop of mashed potatoes, but I'm not going to load up the gluttony plate like we always do during the holidays and absolutely stuff myself because it's a cheat day. I'm not going to do that to myself. I may allow myself to have that root beer that I want, but I'm going to make sure that it's all within reason. And that way I know I'm going to be able to get through the 75 without feeling like I'm punishing myself. I had someone in a group that I belong to on Facebook, I had shared this plan in a walking group that I belong to. And somebody said, make sure that you don't lose your joy in this journey. And absolutely, I assured her, I'm not going to lose my joy in this. I'm allowing myself the flexibility. I'm picking books I love. I'm picking food that I love, but I'm watching the portion control. And here's the kicker. If I miss one element at the end of the day, it's okay. I forgive myself for that. I'm not going to worry about it. And I just keep going on the next day. I don't have to start over. I don't have to start over the 75 days if I mess up. And that's just it. You don't look at it as a mess up. It's just, hey, that's life. And I'm just going to pick up and do better tomorrow. And that's what life is about. And that's where this challenge is so great on so many aspects. It's okay to mess up a little bit with my diet and pick up the next day. It happens. It's okay to miss a day of exercise and pick it up the next day. It happens. Life happens. And you have to look for the joy in it. So I'm not going to lose the joy in this. Now, I did see somebody on YouTube that had put together a 75-day challenge for them. And if you're considering this for yourself, here's an element that they added. They added that they had to spend 10 minutes reading their Bible every morning. And that added the spiritual element of it as well. So there are a lot of different ways to get into good habits and grow. And that's what's really great about this 75 Days Soft. You can personalize it any way you want. So if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so. I drop little shorts almost every day to show you what I've been up to. You can start seeing me get smaller and smaller and smaller. And join me on this journey and become a cheerleader for me. And if you think this is inspirational, somebody else, like I said, share it with them. All right, friends, that's it. I've got some chili in the pressure canner. When that is done, I'm putting on my gym clothes. I'm heading over to the gym and I'm doing a water aerobics class so I can have my 45 minutes for today. If you have any questions or comments, pop them down below. I'd love to hear from you. I do my best to answer every single comment that you guys leave for me. Until I see you next time here on the farm, take care of yourself, take care of each other, have a blessed day, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.